Greetings, ethnic slurs. For those of you out there who haven't died yet in the great toilet paper wars of 2020, I figured I'd make a couple of videos. I've been hard at work playing Nioh 2. Rarely have I spent a waking moment without the controller gripped in my hand, feverishly trying to make sense of all this numeromancy. And when I sleep, it continues to haunt me, even in my dreams. Today we'll be talking about a couple of interesting ways to take advantage of this new, veiny purple meter, and drop some general tips about actually utilizing your demon half to the betterment of your playthrough. We will also, of course, be talking about the current outlook on Onmyo, which is honestly pretty bright. You see, I'm an Onmyo sort of man, because I'm just that kind of masochist. And when I was first using it, I was like, this is shit. Yeetikus. But I kept using it and got to the point where I was like, oh, pretty good, and then I got the mystic art that lets me machine gun elemental shots and the set bonus that lets me apply weakness talismans by hitting them with any Onmyo magic at all, and I was like, yara yara desu. Watashi wa sugoi desu ne. But I digress. Like with all things in Nioh 2, we've played a strange game of give and take when it comes to Onmyo. While some of the statuses have changed, we now have handy-dandy actual descriptions of statuses, available appropriately enough in the status screen. You just have to hit the X button an additional time. And while some of these are factually incorrect, at the very least, it is easily accessible. I can, however, confirm that Confusion no longer gets rid of a yokai's keybar, but it still keeps them from getting it back, in addition to boosting the hell out of all damage dealt, including elemental. So now we gain efficiency at range when using offensive Onmyo magics. Wind and Earth have been replaced with Pure and Corruption on the element side of things, which are purely for key warfare. But we only have one weapon buff for Purification and nothing for Corruption but the yokai weapons. I think it'd actually be pretty dope to see a Corruption spell tree and Pure spell tree added in DLCs. In other news, buffs can no longer be made instant through the Mystic Art, but can come out extremely quickly in some cases. And our shots and Guardian Spirit talismans can come out fast as fuck, boy. And as aforementioned, we didn't have to wait until the DLC to get an actually valid Onmyo set bonus. The Mystic Art training mission drops the whole set when you do it twice, and it's actually fantastic. There's even a second set that uses an Odachi, so we've got two actual, factual, official sets for Onmyo in base game Nioh 2. That's an improvement of exactly % over the base game of Nioh 1 that possessed 0. And the one that was added in DLC wasn't bound to any specific armor and had to be farmed like hell for, so Onmyo is actually much easier to get into in this game than Nioh 1. To top it all off, we are able to apply our buffs to co-op allies with the new decree system, so we are able to keep friendos alive using spells like Protection and Rejuvenation. So, suffice to say, the state of our Onmyo is strong. Two major things have to be kept in mind, however, to ensure your enjoyment as an Onmyo mage. One, your damage and duration scale considerably with Onmyo magic power, so don't get rid of those elemental shots, they're pretty freaking great. And while you may be thinking, you piece of shit, the day 1 kunai build deals this much damage. Well, hold your horses, gentlemen and waifus. Not only do you get access to Confusion to boost your damage numbers, but you also get shit tons of extra anima if you use the correct Guardian Spirits. All the Brute, Feral, and Phantom Guardian Spirits each have their own corresponding special way of getting anima. Normally you only get it from hitting with melee attacks, but Brute lets you get it from blocking hits, Feral from dealing a bunch of damage without getting hit, and Phantom by hitting with ranged attacks. Now that ranged attack anima bonus is what interests us, but if you're going into Onmyo purely for buffs, then Brute or Feral will be more your thing. All of the Phantom Guardian Spirits will net you some anima from hitting with jutsus, but for this I used Genbu, because he specifically gets anima from Onmyo hits, and makes Onmyo casting have infinite poise, which is quite wondrous. The combined Amrita bonus on Genbu will net you a solid 1.6 anima when hitting with an Onmyo magic shot, and like with Amrita Gauge in Nioh 1, the amount gained depends mostly on source, not damage. Kunais will give you 0.6 and Shurikens only 0.3 anima, and so aren't as efficient for gathering it. Whereas your elemental shots deal considerably more damage, and more efficiently build up anima. But we can make this even more efficient. One of the new buffs available in Nioh 2 is this unassuming little moss fruit looking thing, and it provides us a considerable boost to our anima gain, increasing it from 1.6 from shots to 2.3 from shots. Now we've got buttloads of anima, but what is it good for, you say? Well, let me tell you. With the right soul cores and the right guardian spirit, you can use all that juicy anima to lock down enemies in a storm of yokai-infused death, while you gain anima from hitting them with more Onmyo magic, so you can use even more yokai abilities. And that is not the end. for we confuse them in the process of all this, making our damage from both yokai abilities and Onmyo go even further beyond. As evidenced here, certain yokai abilities are crazy good. Early game, I would recommend the Wall's ability, Wall or Nothing. It deals really good damage and allows you to tank some hits. Another good one, once you can get it, is Kasha, the spinning top fire boss, which allows you to summon the Hellfire Delphus, an attack-type Beyblade that is good for chasing people down. Just be careful, as it tends to break sometimes when it comes in contact with elevation in close quarters. The guaranteed effect on Kasha also allows you to get health back for hitting with yokai abilities, which is invaluable. The elemental floating demon heads have a nice low attunement cost and count as basically an elemental shot and a weapon buff simultaneously, along with getting you flat elemental damage boosts for attuning. And at the end of the game, which I won't spoil because it's fucking great, you get the ability to rain elemental justice from the fucking sky, which is amazing, but the results can be unreliable if the target is too small or they move out of it, as it seems to land in random places centered around where you locked on when you cast it. So it's actually fantastic for dealing with a lot of the big guys that people don't like. Just Sloth Talisman to keep them inside the area of effect and watch them die of holy justice. Now I understand that this is a lot of information to absorb, but in layman's terms, you can just say that you've graduated from mere cards and have become a full-fledged Pokemon trainer. Using your yokai abilities in tandem with jutsus really seems to be the most efficient and fun way to play with Onmyo Magic right now. And that should be all you need to know about Onmyo for now, but I figured I'd also give you guys some general tips just to touch base on a few things that I'm sure most people know, but are helpful to us Onmyo mages. After meeting my Helmet is a Spider-Man man, you unlock the ability to go into the Hidden Tea House, and you can join a clan from here. I will tell you now that all the clans are fair and balanced, but Toyotomi is by far more balanced than any other clan. For joining this balanced clan, you get 20 health for every separate pickup of Amrita you get, which doesn't sound OP, but think about it for a second. Hitting yokai with yokai abilities can cause them to just vomit Amrita all over you, especially if they hit a lot, which can allow you to heal through pain you wouldn't be able to stand otherwise by just playing the game normally while in this clan. So yeah, I recommend joining it before they nerf that shit, but definitely look at the other clans as well, because they have some interesting uses for specific builds. On the more mechanical side of things, I should say I've seen a lot of people play this game on Twitch, and a lot of people die for the simple reason that they don't realize that their yokai abilities can be used at any time, even when you're out of key. If an enemy breaks your guard, for instance, while you are in the recovery animation for being out of key, you can get out of it quickly by just burst countering or using something like the Wall to get people off of you while you regen your key. Also, the enemies in the game are extremely grab happy, but if you use a yokai ability that actually physically transforms you into another yokai, it actually makes you immune to being grabbed while you are in the yokai ability. So keep that in mind as well. And, I guess that's all I have for now. I just wanted to give you guys a general spiel of what I've learned thus far. But me and the boys are now hard at work, going through New Game Plus and getting inheritables on gear, so maybe we can do a full Onmyo build that we could actually physically gift to you guys, because when Revenants drop their sets, you can actually get their gear with all the stats they've rolled, seemingly. So, hey, look forward to me killing myself so that you can kill myself. All the in-game footage in this video is taken straight from my stream, which you can find in the description. For the next few weeks, I'll be streaming Nioh 2 on the weekends and helping random people get through the game, so if you need help with a particular boss or level, just drop on by, or I also have a Discord where me and a few knowledgeables gather. That's also available in the description, so feel free to join and hang or ask people for help or what the fuck shit means. And this was all just first impressions and information I gathered from playing the game for 5 straight days. So if you can correct me in any way or want to add things, leave it in the comments or on the aforementioned modes of communication. And with that knowledge that you may do with what you will, I will bid you a farewell. It's been a pleasure. お前はもう死んでいる。何？